Hello everyone, a bit quicker of an update. I'm heading out for the night. Just wanted to touch base with Bitcoin Ethereum Litecoin is seeing some action, so back on the list, and we'll check in with Neo as well. So for Bitcoin, I'm watching this hourly time frame. We have an ascending triangle pattern where we have a horizontal resistance level, and we did break resistance. I had made this chart earlier. 41.86 was the resistance. We did break it, but you can see very clearly we rejected and there was profit taking there. So that resistance line is still valid. We do have higher lows here on the hourly, which is the trademark of that ascending triangle pattern with a horizontal resistance. And the most recent higher low that the bulls must hold is 40.52, and we had another one here at 40.49. So those are two key support levels. We have three rejections. So it's very clear that we have a tightening range forming, and we'll be looking for a clear break. If we look on the 4-hour time frame, we're on the verge of a bullish MACD cross. So if we do see a bull break over that level, we will see a bull MACD cross along with it. And the next resistance that I would be looking up at on the 4-hour time frame is all the way up at 43.50. On the hourly time frame, for a bit more detail, I would be looking up at 43.50. There's another one in there at 42.72 you could pick out. And because that's where the bulls tried to see a move and they were rejected, that's a resistance level now. So 4271, or make that 4272 if I'm rounding. So those are two resistance levels to be watching. Those are our supports to be watching. If we break the higher low pattern, we're looking down at 3960, and also cautious of the 4-hour potential bearish reversal head and shoulders pattern. It's not really fully developed, and the right shoulder right now, not really very significant, so I wouldn't even draw it here, but that's a key support level to maintain some higher lows. And if 39.60 breaks, we're looking down at 38.07. And again, that's the must-hold support level for swing traders and shorter-term traders, because if that breaks, that's a big setback, and our temporary all-time high is going to be in for the foreseeable future. Checking in on Ethereum, it's tight as well. We have a double bottom down here at 287. The exact low that we've seen is 287, so that's a key level. And we've got resistance. The bulls just broke the lower high pattern. So we had resistance of 295.42. We got up to 295.95 and then 296.11. So we are incrementally making some upside action. We see the bull volume picking up a bit. Not a clear breakout, not a ton of strength on that move, but it's certainly enough to note. So as I'm leaving for now, this is going to dictate my trade game plan, where if I were sitting here and going to be in front of the computer, I would not be trading, or I would not be making an entry. I would be waiting for a bull break of momentum. But because I have to leave, I am going to be making an entry, and I'm scaling in as we speak, actually. But just getting a stop out here if this level were to break around 292. I'll put my stop somewhere below 292. So that's going to put me in a position where if we do see a bull break, I will benefit and be in the trade. And if we see a bear break, I'm going to be risking about $3.5. So I've accepted full loss. I'm assuming I'm going to get stopped out, and that loss is perfectly fine for me to accept that risk. And I like it because the 4-hour time frame here already has the bull MACD cross. So we'll see if this follows out like it has in the past for upside. And we have a high, low of the pullback, lower high, higher low. So we could see a bull move all the way up into the low $300 range and still be in this tightening equilibrium pattern, which if we look on the daily time frame, we have inside bars forming. So showing that equilibrium pattern. So we have an inside bar yesterday, inside bar today. This day is going to change over in less than 3 hours. So watching for this tightening range to get a clear bull break. I'm positioning myself to be a part of that if we do get the bull break, and to get stopped out if we don't. Litecoin seeing some action, putting it back on the list just due for that fact. We had a clear bull break, a lot of bull volume coming in. You can see these 3 hours, and it's more prolonged bull volume. Usually we see, an hour or two spike and then it comes back. But here we have big bull volume. Look at the bear volume on consolidation. This is a very nice setup at this point. Key support is the low of the rejection pullback of 46.05. 47 was the key resistance, and we broke it, but we did not close above it. But that would have me, that momentum and that volume would have me looking for a bullish entry here. And I have a harder time with my positions scaling in and out of Litecoin. It's not as liquid. So that's another tricky thing to throw into the mix for me. So I am personally skipping Litecoin right now. And I also, the risk to drop down and break that key support compared to the reward, I am just going to stick with that Ethereum because it's a more manageable risk if I were to get stopped out. So the bulls here need to see a break of 46.96 and 47.15. And then we're going to be looking up at our recent high of 47.99. The daily chart did just break bullish on a tightening equilibrium pattern. And we have a clear resistance up here at make that $50, pretty much a double top at $50. So that's the range that we're going to be looking for. And we have a bit of an equilibrium pattern here with our high, our low of the pullback. And we actually did break the lower high pattern. So that does give a slight favor to the bulls. The daily chart's on the verge of a bullish MACD cross. All three of these names It's looking like they are setting up for a potential bull move. And Litecoin, I would absolutely be looking to play it. Again, if I were sitting in my computer tonight, I would be looking at Litecoin because this setup is really nice. And if we do get over that 48 level, we are looking up to 50. Neo has been trying to bounce. We pulled back significantly. Looking on the daily time frame, we pulled back a bunch of days. We've seen bullish reversal hammers. Haven't really seen strong follow through. We have a clear resistance that needs to break for the bulls to confirm that our higher low has been set and the low of consolidation, which was down at 30.54. So that's now a must-hold level on the daily time frame for the foreseeable future. In terms of resistance, we're looking on the 4-hour time frame. We've topped out here. We topped out at 42, 41, 76, and then 42 again. So that 42 level is important for me. We have our high of the bounce attempt, our higher low, lower high, and now the bulls are likely to form a higher low. The current range I'm watching to do that against is 34.06. Need a higher low compared to 34.06, and for the bull break, really an early signal if you want some higher risk and higher reward for a bullish entry would be if we break 41.20. That's your signal to get in. If you want to be a more cautious trader, wait till that 42 resistance breaks, and then the bounce on the daily time frame is going to begin playing out. We will anticipate an equilibrium pattern if that does happen. If we break 42, the daily chart is likely to see our high, our low, our lower high on a bounce. So keep that in mind. If we do break 42, unless we see big time bull volume on the daily time frame backing it up, we are going to set a lower high somewhere in the upper $40 range is my assumption. But again, that's first things first. We have to break that $42 level. Also want to touch on Binance. I was talking smack about the colors of the chart on Binance in my last video, and I stand by that. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to trade it. So I did end up putting some money on, knowing it is a higher risk, higher reward trade in the sense that it is a newer exchange. It is the name has run 1,000% in the past few weeks, few months, and the daily chart has been on fire, but the setup was there to give me a shot at new blue sky breakout all-time highs. So I jumped in on that and allocated a much smaller position than I would when I'm trading these big three on GDAX with the FDIC insured US dollars where I can sleep at night, and can't put that kind of money on Binance, but put enough to make it worthwhile. And I am holding now, looking for a new all-time high. Certainly has a lot of hype and momentum, and the risk to reward with that new all-time high is there for me. The 15-minute time frame just formed a bull flag. I'm not pulling up the chart right now because the only way it can be charted is on that website, and I got all my personal information on there, and I don't feel like editing out the video right now as I am in a rush. So Binance, check it out. Do some research. You do have to trade it through Binance and create an account. All in all, between creating an account and transferring some Bitcoin on there to buy, I would say the total amount of time took about an hour, so it was certainly worth it. And I definitely missed some upside. We had members all over this beforehand, and they're making hundreds of %. And I finally reached the point where it was like, okay, I can accept the risk where, again, it's the same thing. When I put that money on there, I assume I'm going to lose it all. Something's going to happen, worst case scenario, and then I adjust from there and say, will I be fine if that takes place? And the answer is yes, so that's an acceptable risk to me. So that's what we've got heading into tomorrow. We'll check back in at some point soon. I appreciate everybody watching and hope you have a good rest of your weekend. Don't stare at the sun.